jacked, buddy.
I'm sure everyone
He's looking a
here
little
that
strong.
plays Mercury knows this. He was one of the first gods that lived in that like more stylized era, and he never really got a facelift. So that's always been one of the guys where
He's
like
looking a little strong,
he
buddy.
still had charm to him, but like we
He
were
looked
like,
a little
ah,
too
he
skinny
just
in
doesn't
Smite
fit
1.
the
You know what I'm
rest,
saying?
right? So when we
He's
got
looking a
into
little
this
too,
round, we were
little,
like,
little too
let's
skinny.
try to
He kind of looks like when he does those
definitely
punches
upgrade
now.
him, but also make him feel more speedy. That was kind of one of the things. Like he had armor back in the day, which I guess makes sense because you're like fighting and stuff, so you still want to like feel like you're armored. But like, I don't know, it just didn't like. Whenever I would look at like reference of like statues of Mercury and stuff like that, it would be like he'd be wearing like the togas and stuff. So I was like, and then you see other pop culture references that also use that, and I'm like, it just seems like that's the vibe. It's very like streamlined. It seemed like it fit him more, so we decided to go that route. It's a little.
His head
like,
doesn't look small on the back side one, but facing forward,
like kind of grainy. That's one of those work
like on this one, it doesn't look small.
Mass back on that, so it's a little bit smoother. But like,
this,
I mean,
that
the idea was don't make him not look like Mercury.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like bring in all the things that we felt Mercury was supposed to have that was not there from the past. So yeah. I mean, he's gonna be punching his stuff, and I think his old animations. It's like a divisive thing, right? Do you like him when he's like doing the whole fisticuffs thing, or do you like him when he's kind of like more of like the ninjas animation set where he's kind of like? So we didn't feel like the fisticuffs made full sense, and it's really hard to like skin things for that because you have to just, when
you're
you
like
have some
curled up,
badass, you just let's do this, So yeah, we have I think the animation set is more of the kind of the modern like just. Like that kind of thing. So
nice. Well, he's definitely looking a lot more sleek here, which is super cool.
We felt like we had to keep the helmet. That was an iconic bit that was a lot of discussion internally about because there was some people were on the side of it kind of makes him look like a minion, but at the same time it's kind of been an iconic part of his look, and also it is a very iconic statue, I think, where he has the helmet on.
Yeah.
And so wanted to stick with that.
We considered maybe doing even with the fur, like going more like the way we did kind of the Ares stuff, where it's more like cards and alphas. But like, we just figured for this one, we'd go with for now and see how people felt about it, and then push it farther if we needed to. But like Kilgoon said, it's kind of iconic, and we didn't. When we do these things, we don't want to like push it too far, where it's like, hey, here's a character you all know and love, and now he's not that character anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And then who's to say what elements define who that is, right? So I'm talking about the animations changing. People might be like, but that's who Mercury is. And so I might have already upset some people making a decision to go that route, right? So we kind of just felt that was one of his most iconic things. We didn't want to change that.
Yeah. I also I don't know if the old model had the Caduceus,
It did not.
Which is kind of something he's always been associated with. So I think it's cool that we worked that into his like messenger bag.
Yeah.
And as a messenger, you gotta have a messenger bag, right? Like that's just
sick.
I mean, I think there were like there hints at it, right? Like in the belt and like the helmet, he has like some snake-like stuff. So there's a little bit of that, but it was nothing like straight up just in your face. But like if you look on his right hip, so like on the left, the screen left, he actually has that Caduceus.
Oh, yeah.
showing
I see it.
and it actually flops and stuff. So like, that
That's
was one of the
cool.
things where it's like, I mean, I don't know how this guy would use it. He's like holding it like, he's not using it for abilities.
power
but,
of
like,
work compels you.
It's
Right.
like such an amazing thing in the lore that like we didn't really. We tried to tie in some like shape language and motifs, but we didn't like go all in on it. So this time we were like, let's try to put it in there.
Yeah. This is sick. Well,
Yep.
Kilgoon, I know you talked with design a
I
little
did
bit
talk
earlier.
with design a little bit.
We
So-
gotta get a little bit of gameplay teasers
Yeah,
here.
so we'll do the full in-game for Mercury on Monday.
Yeah.
When we go over a lot of stuff.
There's
that
a
is in
lot
this
of stuff in the next update.
But we aren't going to go in-game today for either of these. We're just going to show kind of the model update as they are right now. We're going to give you a little teaser about what's coming gameplay-wise. Largely, most of the changes for Merc are intended to just kind of make him feel better and clean up some of the stuff that weren't great in Smite 1. So the two kind of small teasers that Pawn gave me were in Smite 1, while you were jumping, you didn't get your passive stacks for moving. So you were actually like
Oh, wow.
nerfed
So, yeah.
if you were jumping. So that's been fixed so that you actually will get passive stacks if you're jumping while you're moving. His one is him running out and punching the person really fast, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's supposed to visually look like. And now that will also apply on hit effects.
So
if you get a lot of on hit things, then that will trigger those. So just a fun little thing, and we'll see what else there is planned up from the design side. But I've heard it's mostly true to the iconic Mercury character with a few cleanups.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we're going to be showing him off in full on our Monday show. So players won't have to wait too long before they see Mercury fully on the battleground and in action. But in terms of who's after Mercury, I know an iconic character, fan favorite. Some would say we are not even a MOBA until this character gets into the game, right?
It is a requirement that every MOBA has this character.
Yes.
So
we are super excited to announce that Sun Wukong is going to be joining the roster after Mercury.
Yes.
Super excited for him. Let me switch tabs, and we can show off how he looks in Smite 2. He's looking clean.
Yeah, so with his update, again, like, he was just if you go back to Smite 1, I'm like, this dude's just sick. Like, he's got great balance, great design. Like, I don't know if y'all know about OG.
Oh, yeah.
Wukong. Like, he was like not some Wukong.
yeah, right. Because Hunbots was, what is now Hunbots was some Wukong, and the model was.
It
was an interesting approach.
Known as some Wukong, Hunbots. But when we saw this, when the design came through, which is like, we love this guy. When we were thinking about what we could do to upgrade him, I mean, maybe we could have made his necklace have some bigger elements or something, but he just was chock full of really good details. And it was like, when you make designs for characters, like you want to like add areas of interest, like focal points and stuff, but you don't want to like pepper the character with that everywhere, because then it's like, where do you look at? So this guy to me has always had such a great balance, and like, I was like, should we change his face, maybe his hair? But I'm like, he has a really good blend of like monkey features, but also human features, right? And it's like, it's always kind of like when you see versions of some Wukong, it's like, well, how far do you lean? One way or the other, right? Like Black Myth, some Wukong, I think that came out. It's like, I feel like that went too monkey, like, but that's because I'm used to Smite.
Right. The most requested warrior and one of the most requested gods of the game.
I love the designer, so we didn't change much. We just try to like enhance what was there. Get the textures.
I don't care for him. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm indifferent.
One
like,
thing
cool
that I didn't
as a
even
character.
notice from Smite 1, but I'm sure is there. Like, just like the tiger.
He's one of the
pattern
most
on
requested.
His, like, little bat cape.
Yeah.
It just looks so sick.
Yeah, man. It's like I said. It's just this is one of those stands the test of time kind of designs, in my opinion, for Smite. So yeah.
Magic Cudgel is looking really sick too. I love the details in the gold, seeing the patterns on the armor as well. Just like our classic Sun Wukong making it to Smite 2.
Yes,
I'm just super excited.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he looks great. I played him in playtest this morning.
Ooh, nice.
Feels pretty good. Still, not the next patch, but the patch after, so a little ways out. Still a little more cleanups to do and whatnot, but starting to feel really good.
Sweet. Well, do you have any short gameplay teasers for Sun Wukong? Maybe?
I do have a short gameplay teaser.
Spill the tea.
That he is a hybrid scaling god.
Oh, okay.
And he scales with int in a unique new way.
And that's all we're gonna say.
That's all we're gonna say for right now. So it's a very interesting new scaling mechanism off of int. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
That's sick.
Chat's like, what the hell?
I know, right?
You can't just say that.
You can't just say that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he was fun to play this morning. He is the Sun Wukong you know and love, but just a little bit better. So
sweet. Well, those are the next two upcoming gods coming to Smite 2. We're only going to do two today. Yep. I think 2 at a time is a good cadence for us, right, Kilgoon?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we do need to figure out timing-wise to not have the one of them get spoiled so early. But I think that, like, just in terms of how far out we're willing to commit and talk about publicly, I think this is just a better flow for us. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to these two. I'm looking forward to the two after them. And I think I feel like we have a roster of bangers coming up pretty much. I don't think there's anybody on there that everybody has their favorite god, and to some extent, you're always going to be disappointed until the next god is your favorite god. But I think if you try to look at it objectively about, like, who are the iconic characters that we're still feeling the missing the most, right, in terms of whether they're just, like, mythically iconic, whether they've been core parts of Smite's meta throughout the years, whether they introduce something unique in terms of gameplay. I think we have a good roster set for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So,
where we're going to keep going 2 by 2. So after Sun Wukong is live, we'll do another show like this.
The gods go marching 2 by 2.
I know, right? We're going to talk about the next upcoming after we kind of reveal Sun Wukong in full, and he is live in game. But that's not too far out. You're talking about an update every 2 weeks. That's just 4 weeks from now. So super exciting. I think that is everything that we had in terms of talking about the next couple of gods joining the Smite 2 roster. We showed off the in-game models. Kilgun gave us some teasers.
Just a little teaser.
Just some small teasers. Yeah. And I figure we could just open up the show for Q&A. Ben's going to hang out because it's been a while since he's been on the show. So chat, if you have any art-focused questions, Ben is ready and willing to answer them. So we're just going to hang out for the next 45-ish minutes.